Hey, this is Travis the TAO Templar. Today let's talk about the tokenomics of Bittensor, what TAO actually does, and if it's just speculation. There is 21 million TAO with the same emission schedule as Bitcoin, a halvening every 4 years. Remember, Bittensor is like Bitcoin, except the work done by miners is diverse, valuable, and growing every day. Storage, trading signals, training AI, advertising, etc. Remember, miners do the work, validators check the work, subnet owners control the work, and stakers judge the value of work. Subnets are the type of work. Let's go over how it's made. Miners receive rewards based on how valuable their work is, based on how validators rank them. Due to this, Bittensor rewards the most productive miners and fires the least productive miners. If a subnet is built correctly, then naturally, thanks to the competition and the permissionless nature of Bittensor, the network will output the best storage, the best trading signals, the best AI training that the world can offer. Obviously, this contributes to the overall value of TAO. Let's go over the uses. Like any cryptocurrency, TAO can be traded. Staking plays a vital role in Bittensor, judging the value of work. Before continuing, let's define emissions. Every 12 seconds, 1 TAO is minted. Each minted TAO is split between the participants in the network. Stakers stake to a validator of their choice. That validator votes for which subnets it wants to give more emissions to. The weight of a validator's vote is based on how much TAO it has staked to it. Through validators, stakers stake TAO to subnets. Your stake actually affects the amount of emissions the subnets get. For example, at this time, subnet 8 trading signals gets many emissions since most validators and their stakers value subnet 8 more highly. In this way, staking in Bittensor actually affects the work being done. Staking to a subnet actually increases the amount of TAO that miners, validators, and subnet owners receive from operating on that subnet. By staking, you're actually helping improve the network by using your intellect to determine the most valuable subnets. The more TAO you have staked, the greater the weight your vote has for the direction of the network. Even the smallest 1 TAO staked bag has a tiny impact on emissions. Validators are the only ones able to access the collective intelligence that the network produces. In order to become a validator, you have to have a lot of TAO. Therefore, TAO is the price one must pay to access the products of the network. Right now, it costs millions of dollars worth of TAO to become a proper validator. More TAO means the validator's vote for which miners are the most performant is stronger. The more TAO you have, the more miners must listen to you. As an example, a validator with only 10 TAO asking a miner to do difficult and costly work will likely be ignored. But a validator with 100,000 TAO asking a miner to do the same work will be listened to, lest the miner risk reducing their emissions from such a large validator that will surely rank them lower. It's like listening to a random person versus listening to your boss. Your boss can interrupt your income, whereas the random person cannot. So you need a lot of TAO to become a reliable validator. Let's look at speculative versus intrinsic value. Speculative value is a prediction of future value. Intrinsic value is grounded in the actual historical and present performance of the asset. Any asset has a certain amount of speculation, and a healthy amount of speculation is good. However, it's still just a prediction. And if the entire pie is speculative, then you've got an asset that will crash to zero when people finally come back to reality. People have trouble with the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. And while I personally have confidence in the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, it's much harder to justify Bitcoin's intrinsic value than it is to justify Bittensor's intrinsic value. With Bittensor, you need only look at the output of each subnet. As an example, I am a user that sees that the trading signals within subnet 8 are very profitable. I want access to those signals so that I can make money. I go shopping for a validator that can provide those signals to me. When I find one, I will pay them for access to the data. In order for a validator to provide the service that I am willing to pay for, they must have a lot of TAO. Therefore, TAO has intrinsic value. There are other subnets with clear value, like subnet 18, that acts as a proxy for various paid language learning models. I use subnet 18 every day via Corcel.io. TAO probably has more intrinsic value than any other cryptocurrency. We know that products on Bittensor are highly valuable thanks to the competition between miners that selects for the best miners. The competition between subnets for emissions selects for the best subnets as well. Bittensor has a self-improvement mechanism, the likes of which we've never seen before. Unlike Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, TAO is viscerally connected to productive, valuable work. And therefore, unlike many other cryptocurrencies, it has actual, tangible, intrinsic value. Thank you.